We're convening this convention in a time of great uncertainty and great difficulty in the world. Our screens, our TV screens are filled with images of conflict, of genocide, of violence, of exclusion. It's a world that is characterized by inequality and environmental destruction. And we're gathering here, I'm hoping, as faith change makers who are committed to being symbols of hope in a world that is so desperately sad at the moment. And you can look at the theme where we say we are affirming human dignity, justice and freedom for all. We've got 3 days in which we need to explore how we as faith actors can be that beacon of hope for so many communities who face despair and who face exclusion. It's not always easy to engage in difficult conversations. The faith community very often is full of contradictions, right? In all of our faiths, there are people with widely divergent views. We see religion being used to justify all sorts of horrors and all sorts of evils. And even within our own local communities of faith, there are those battles that we have to fight, where we have the views that are anti-inclusion, anti-human, and are justified by people using scriptures. And so we engage these 3 days. We encourage you to be brave, to engage with courage, to be honest, and to not be afraid of engaging with difficult topics. It's a decision you make to open yourself up to a more honest and rigorous discussion, and to resist the innately human urge to retreat to our defensive positions where we are safe. So that's my urge to you.
Yesterday, a pre-youth conference was held for this convention, where youth from different countries, religions, and organizations, faith change makers, gathered in a safe space to talk about the contribution of youth and to share the current work we are all engaged in regarding social change.
This convention has brought me a lot of thoughts. I was able to hear different voices from my fellow youth.
I think together we can make this world a better place to live in. I have borrowed this from my friends after sharing ideas and experiences. I believe that in the near future, the youth can take up these initiatives also very well.
As a young person, it was life-changing, if I can say that, in various aspects. And I'm going home refreshed, re-energized. I've learned a lot.
I was able to form a whole lot of friendships within the spaces that I was in. The sessions were real eye-openers for us, and I strongly believe that with such programs going on, we will be able to create more opportunities for more people.
And as a young person, I feel very energized. I feel there is hope for the future. If such events are held all over the globe and bring as many people as possible, then that way we will start to understand the diversities that we have, appreciate the strengths that we have in diversity, that every person brings something special into the frame, and everyone's contribution is important.
There may be times when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest. We must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Advocacy that ends in silence or that is neutral on the great issues of our time that define our hour will never stand the litmus test if it is born of faith.
We've come up with a new approach, a counseling model. The counseling model takes into account the bio, psycho, social, and spiritual approach towards counseling GBV victims, which means we use religious scriptures in a positive way to enhance the skills of those GBV victims to be able to surmount violence.
We are seeing a society of brotherhood, of sisterhood, where people respect, first, where people understand each other, they respect each other, they coexist peacefully, and they all meaningfully contribute to building a society that is accommodative and that works and everyone feels part of it. So if we are able to break these narratives, negative narratives, these stereotypes, we are going to have a society that is much more loving, much more tolerant, and everyone is accepted, and that is also most of all peaceful and also prosperous. And that's what all of us work towards and dream of every day.
I leave you with the thought of Soviet physicist, writer, political analyst, Peter Kropotkin. He says, "Do not blame humanity if of your own accord you thus paralyze your energies. Be strong on the other hand, and once you have seen unrighteousness and recognized it as such, once you have seen inequality in life, a lie in science, or suffering inflicted on another, rise in revolt against the iniquity, the lie, or the injustice. Struggle. To struggle is to live, and the fiercer the struggle, the intenser the life. And then you will have lived, and a few hours of such life are worth years spent vegetating." For that good reason, as Sloane Coffin said, the heart is a little to the left. May we find our heart, and may we do our advocacy well.